welcome back to the Geordie View. So, the transfer window is upon us, and for once, Newcastle fans are looking forward to it. The first one under this new ownership. I'm mainly going to talk about players that could come into the club and kind of like what positions we need. I mean, we need a lot of players. It's going to be a hard... January's always a hard month to deal with, so I'm not expecting us to get rid of all the deadwood, all the players we've talked about getting rid of. You know, definitely probably got a better chance of doing it in the summer. But it's, you know, we need players, and I am confident we'll get players in. Even if we're still on Mike Ashley, we'll probably, and we're 2 points back off 17th place, then I probably think, you know, we'll get some players panicking, but obviously this ownership, it feels like it's set in stone that they're going to sign players. But we'll start off with some players that could leave. Now, Carl Darlow, Freddie Woodman, I think we need to let one of them go because it's a 25-man squad. We've got 4 goalkeepers. Now, I could understand Steve Bruce at the start of the season having to do it because Darlow was suffering with COVID, and then we also had Dubravka out injured. So, we were left with 4 goalkeepers now. We can't sell Dubravka. I feel like Gillespie, we're not going to get anything for him really. I just feel like he's happy to be a backup goalkeeper at his hometown club. He knew what he was signing up for when he came in from Motherwell. So really, it's probably Darlow Woodman. I've probably looked to offload them. I'll probably keep one of them for now as a backup goalkeeper. And then maybe let them go in the transfer window. I mean, there's talk Woodman could go out on loan again. I mean, in my opinion, there's only so many times he's going to want to go out on loan before he decides to leave the club for game time. I mean, if he was going on, it does free up a place in the squad. But I think maybe we could look to offload one this January, one in the summer. I mean, we'll have to let Dubravka go get relegated, and then you've got another one for who can come in as number 1 in the Championship. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it doesn't come to that. Maybe it's this January, let Dan Langley go on loan, and then potentially have him as third choice goalkeeper next season when he has to be registered. If we are in the Premier League still, or if we're in the Championship, I think he could be third choice keeper there as well. Maybe number 2 when Gillespie's contract expires at the end of next season. Now looking in at the defence, the big one. Now, I think this is the position where we need the strengthening the most. Apparently we are after a right back, a centre back and a left back. Kieran Trippier is the main one that's getting linked. It looks like working on a deal to get him. Atletico are still waiting on a bid. I'd be very happy with this signing. I hope it happens. Sven Botman's another one who's been heavily linked. Apparently he's keen on a move, but Liel could be unwilling sellers. We've got a couple of players from Lyon the past who've done well for us. Kabay, Debussy, Botman. I think he's a Dutch under 21 international. Play centre back, and he can't really be any worse than Kieran Clark, and you could probably say Jamal Lascelles for that matter. I haven't really heard of him, but you know what? I'd give him a chance. I mean, he'd probably be a good signing from what I'm hearing. Let's say Liel and Winsaz, but I just think we could tempt them with a bit of money. And obviously the Premier League is, you know, quite an attraction for these players. Because you got to remember when we got Kabay from them, they just won the league and title and he was their captain. So yeah, we can definitely get this one done. Joe Rodon has also been linked for a loan move from Tottenham Hotspur. Don't know too much about him. Well, I'll take him. Nicholas Sewell from Bayern Munich. He's out of contract. It looks like he's going to leave. He's not signing a new deal. I think they'll probably look to offload him in the January window. But then I'm hearing clubs like Chelsea are linked with him. I could be wrong. But he's one that's being linked. I think the main choice would be James Tarkowski. He's out of contract at Burnley. And a quote from the Burnley chairman kind of suggests to me that this is doable in terms of getting a deal for him. You know, you would love to keep him, but they'll support whatever decision he makes. I think that Burnley, if he's not going to sign a contract, Burnley will look to offload him. The problem is that they're going to offload him to Newcastle because we're in the relegation battle with them, or with the or Leicester or West Ham who've been linked with him before. Nathan Ake's been linked as well for the centre back role. I wouldn't mind him, to be fair. I mean, it's not worked out in Manchester City, but I mean, he had a decent game last night from what I heard against Brentford. But I think he'd be a decent signing as well. So that's it really for defenders. I think fullbacks, we know about the centre back issue. We need to get rid of Clark. I'm at the point where I'd rather play the kids than Kieran Clark. And fullbacks we need because Kraft and Manquillo were good on Monday night, but you looked at the line against Man City when we didn't have Jamal Lewis, Paul Dummett, we know he's injury prone, Manquillo was ill. Kraft, I assume, mustn't have been training so much in the week leading up to it because he was on the bench, but Eddie Howe suggested, he had been ill. Because I'm just thinking, if he was ill, why was he on the bench? But maybe I just think it's down to lack of training from being ill. But yeah, we definitely need a full-back at least. But the good thing is we've got with Manquillo is that we've got someone who can play either side, and that's always ideal for a full-back, to have someone who can play either side. Midfielders. Matty Longstaff has come back from his loan, it looks like, from Aberdeen. Now, it worries me that he's not played many games at Aberdeen, to be honest. I mean, he has looked good whenever he's played for us. I've been thinking, give this guy more chances. You've seen this time last year against Liverpool. Man City played well. We know about his goals against Man United. I actually did see him on Monday at a No Shields game before going to St James's Park on Monday. But, what I will say is, if we do, Eddie Howe should make a decision on him before he does play him. Not just a case of give him a chance against Cambridge, and that depends if he decides if he's going to be here for the rest of the season. Because we've got to remember, if he plays for us, even if it's just under 23s, that rules him out of another loan move in January. But I think he's going to have a look at him in training. If he plays against Cambridge, then, as I said, I think that tells me that Eddie Howe will want to have him in the squad, especially because we've seen Isaac Hayden get an injury, could be out for a while. He's posted on his Instagram about it. But let us know, would you have Matty in the squad, or would you put him out on loan for the rest of the season? Elliot Anderson's another lad that could go out on loan, but I wouldn't mind seeing him in action against Cambridge. Maybe if the game's done. I think we do need, I'll probably talk about it next week, but I feel like we do just need to get the job done in the 90 minutes against them, just for confidence. I'm not expecting a stronger side, but just a side that's good enough to win the game. Aaron Ramsey from Juventus is getting linked. We know about him from his time at Arsenal. I think he'd be a decent short-term option, as would potentially Georginio, Wijnaldum. There's talk of a loan deal for him. Of course, he did come to Newcastle before his 5 years at Liverpool. It worries me that he had a bit of a bad attitude in the second half of his season here. He scored 9 goals or something up until January 16th, and then he went 4 months without a goal, and then he was one of those players that just turned up against Tottenham when we were already relegated. That's not what I want. I mean, yes, fair enough, it could work better if we brought in Rafa Benitez earlier. It definitely could work better under a good manager instead of Steve McLaren. He has done better, probably better at Liverpool with Jurgen Klopp coaching him. But I do hope he shows a better attitude. I think he's unhappy at PSG. He's open to return to the Premier League, so I wouldn't mind him. Dele Alli, the last couple of midfielders been linked. Two young midfielders who, let's just say, they have not reached their potential. They were getting talked about as stars of the future around 5 years ago, but don't know what's happened to them. Well, Ross Barkley just hasn't worked out for him at Chelsea. I don't mind him taking him, but at the same time, it does worry me that Aston Villa didn't go in for him on a permanent basis, especially after the way he started his loan spell there. He hasn't played a lot for Chelsea. And another one is Dele Alli. His attitude, I'm just worried about his attitude. He's a good player, but yeah, it's that attitude thing. But you never know. We've seen what Jesse Lingard did on loan at West Ham last season. Maybe similar could happen. What I will say though is, if we're going to sign players on loan, then potentially we should maybe look to put an option to buy if we stay in the Premier League. Because we've seen what's happened with Joe Willock and Kennedy when we've been tempted to bring them back. And they've just not been the same after the first loan spell at the club. Whereas Dubravka, he's continued to play well after his loan spell. I think it's because he knew his future was at Newcastle if he played well, and which he has. We had that option to buy. We obviously took that. But not the straight loans. I just think loans, they're not a bad idea, especially in our position. But I think we should have an option to buy if we can. Now onto the forwards. Callum Wilson is injured. He could be out for 6 weeks. So I think the club are after a forward really. Barbosa has been linked from Flamengo, I think it is. Probably just I could be wrong, but that's probably just paper talk. Igalo's been linked. Can't remember who he's playing in. I think he's playing in Saudi Arabia. I can't remember who it's for. But I feel like he's a one-season wonder. He had that good season when Watford came up. He scored a couple in James's Park. I'm not too sure if I want to Odion Igalo, to be honest. The big one that came out last night was Ousmane Dembele from Barcelona. He's out of contract. Barca are unwilling to give him the salary he wants. It seems like he's been approached by ourselves and Tottenham. I'd rather just wait till the summer and try and get him on a free transfer. I don't, when we've kind of got a clean slate, I don't think he's what we really need right now in the relegation battle. Massive wages, too injury prone. It's nice to have these players linked with us, but I just don't think he's what he needs. Plus, I do think there'll be more attractive clubs coming in for him, because right now we're on our journey to be more attractive than these clubs. But at the minute, we're in a relegation battle, and there'll be clubs. I think Man United, Juve have been linked with him. He definitely choose one of them over us at this moment in time. I think Barca, they want him gone in January because they're not going to want to lose him on a free with their debt. Apparently they're willing to accept, €50 million bids for him. Now, in my opinion, I think that's a lot. If he's fully fit, yeah, I'd take him. But it's a lot for a player who's just so injury prone. I don't want to compare him to Michael Owen, but you got to remember Michael Owen when he came from Real Madrid. Fans were excited, but it was just so injury prone, bad attitude, injuries. Well, I mentioned that before. Well, big wages, and it ended up in. And look how that ended up. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I've got to say on the January rumours, players we've been linked with. Although there is actually one more, Dwight Gale is being linked with moves away, Nottingham Forest or West Brom. I wouldn't mind him going, to be honest. Now, in my opinion, we do have to get rid of players that aren't. We do have to get rid of players because we've got a 25-man squad. We need to make room in it. So let us know what players you'd look to get rid of. Sean Longstaff, I think, was linked with Nottingham Forest. I think Eddie Howe's not really wanting to get rid of players, but I think he'll have to with the squad that he's got. But yeah, that's it from me. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe to my channel, check out my social media pages in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.